Good evening again, Virgo, and welcome to the monthly overview of your planetary positions. It's September 2012. I'm Dadhichi from astrology.com.au. So looking at your horoscope right now, September is a very important period of the year for you. You have firstly your solar return, but what a lot of people forget too is that always very near to the sun in terms of astrological distance is the planet Mercury, which happens to be your planetary ruler. And when Mercury as well as the sun come back to this position, pretty much around this period of the year, it absolutely elevates your personality, your physical well-being, but with that Mercury, the intellectual acuity, you're sharp at the moment. So you should use that in whatever way you can to further your desires this month. Now, if we look at the placement of Mercury on the 2nd of September, we see that it starts to swing into action there, and that accelerates a lot of your activities. Reason being, Mercury is the fastest moving planet in the zodiac. That accounts for your quick reflexes intellectually, your critical nature, which we won't go into that now, and your ability generally to see through the masks and charades that people present in life. However, this month, be careful. You've got, in the opposite side of the zodiac, as the month commences, Moon and Neptune in the 7th house of your horoscope. Now, what this means is that the Sun and Mercury, and of course the Moon and Neptune, are in an opposite position. This means, of course, the Moon is full. So there's a lot of emotionalism around what's going on. The Moon for you rules your friends. Being in the 7th zone of your horoscope has to do with your, pardon me, your most significant other, de facto partner, spouse. So therefore there's confusion there. Your normally quick responses may be delayed, or you may be second guessing yourself in some situation. And what that tells me is that you may need to humble yourself intellectually, listen a little bit more to what the other person has to say this month. I think what's happening there is that there's a genuine desire on your part to understand the motivations of other people. That's because the very fine aspect between Mercury and Pluto, and we see that that aspect is very powerful on the 5th of the month. So this is all sorts of interrogation, deep and meaningful discussions. You can expect all that sort of stuff to happen. But I must say, when you have a positive aspect like that, it tells me that the results of those discussions will be pretty fruitful. We notice that Mars is moving away from Saturn. That's caused a lot of frustration for everyone. There we see it occurred in your finance sector. Mars has already moved into your 3rd house of communication. And fortunately, your desire to pounce on anyone at that time is going to be measured by this reasonably good aspect between Mercury and Mars. A couple of other aspects I should mention there for you. The movement of Venus, which occurs on the 7th, a little bit before that aspect I just mentioned, that moves to your 12th house. That's a period of expense for you, lavish expenditure, I might add. So take some precautions there. You need to shop around and do a little bit of price comparing before you sign on the dotted line, especially if it's a large ticket item. Other aspects here, I'm just mainly picking the important ones. If you want to get the detailed day-to-day readings, you of course can come to my website, astrology.com.au, Virgo, and have a look at that. Here I'm just punctuating the month with some of those important ones, that one particularly with Mercury, your ruling planet. It's excellent to see Jupiter in the career zone of your horoscope. It's around midway through the sign now, but that's got some very tight right angle aspects to this Moon Neptune and to the Mercury Sun. So it's funny, this is called a T-square according to Western astrologers. So it's really hinging on your professional activities at this month, and obviously some tension and some challenges there. You need to justify some of your actions in respect of your relationships when it comes to work. If you're an independent business person, you might like to feel that independence in making the decisions the way you want, but could be hamstrung by someone else really pulling back the reins. So that's a challenge for you. Fortunately, you'll be forceful enough with that Mars to get your point across and hopefully resolve that issue by the middle of the month. That could happen suddenly, because what we see there is around the 13th, Venus and Uranus, the planet that I just mentioned, being the cause of a lot of that excessive expenditure or excessive use of energy, being favourably tuned into with Uranus on the 13th. We see the entry of Mercury around the 17th of September to the sign of Libra. Let me just yes, correct. That's Libra, which is the finance sector, your income sector. So there's a strong shift away from the discussions to actually getting down and doing it around the middle of the month. And I think you'll be coming up with a whole lot of very clever schemes to maybe feed your lavish lifestyle at this point in time, Virgo. What other aspects do I see there? Later in the month is, again, mainly to do with your ruling planet Mercury. Excellent aspect on the 27th of September between Mercury and Jupiter. Now, that's the planet that's in your career sector. So any sort of communication that's required there to strengthen your position, maybe negotiate any contractual arrangement, or if you're looking for some new work or potential position that you're going for, that's actually an excellent time to canvass the idea, look up any ads that are around and go for interviews. You should be successful at that time. The right angle of the Sun to Pluto is a bit of a problem. That's the planet that's in your sun sign now. Of course, this is the time of the year that the Virgo sun sign natives celebrate their birthdays for this 1 month period. But that right angle to Pluto in your 5th sector, which is love affairs and romance, could show some sort of suppressed issue that hasn't been able to come to the surface, maybe finally coming to the surface now. So there's an issue there that may be dealt with. The other aspect I see there to this combination of planets is the potential for really, really great artwork or expression of yourself through some creative process. That 5th sector has to do with that. And this planet, Pluto, is going to be there for a long time. So don't be afraid to try a few different things, because that's how you're going to really lock into the very thing that gives you great satisfaction, possibly even some money down the track. That's it for me. I look forward to talking to you next month. Just to remind you again, the daily and also monthly transcripts of a whole lot of other areas for the coming September. You might want to look at that at www.astrology.com.au. I'm always available if you want to let me know you're there. And of course, any sort of serious or detailed analysis can be conducted in a reading with me. Take care. Have a great month. Bye-bye.